Hello everyone, welcome to my channel La Lupa Investigates. In this video we are going to talk about what is ESG. What is the ESG score? Today is November 13, 2022. Get your teas, get your coffee, and let's get the show started. So ESG is environmental, social, and governance. So depending on the status of the company or the person, your score is going to be rated as such. So let's listen to this guy. He's going to explain some more.
We know that this is coming for individuals, that there are some individuals who already have ESG scores and they don't know it. And really, it makes sense, right? If you want to transform society through a social credit scoring system, you can do a lot of that through corporations and banks and financial institutions and Wall Street. But at some point, you probably are going to have to apply that to individuals as well if you're going to take the shift to a stakeholder capitalism system seriously. ESG stands for environmental, social, and governance metrics. It's a kind of social credit scoring system. There are many different ESG metrics that are used all over the world, primarily in the United States, Canada, and Europe. And the goal of all of these metrics, though, is essentially the same. It's to try to get companies in particular, but in some cases, potentially even individuals, to change their behavior by rewarding people with a higher ESG score for performing well in certain categories, and then punishing them for doing poorly in those same categories. The people who support ESG metrics argue that this is an essential part of something they call stakeholder capitalism. They believe that we need to move to a new kind of capitalism, one that doesn't just look at profits and losses and traditional business metrics, but that looks at what's in the best interest of the collective. They think in order to address something like climate change, in order to deal with problems related to pollution and plastic in the ocean, to deal with social inequalities and racism and all of this other stuff, you have to create a social credit scoring system, or else these businesses are not going to do it on their own. I don't believe that ESG scores are really being used for the reason that they say they are. I think it's mostly about controlling society and about making lots of money and about pushing a left-wing agenda, but I don't think it's about making the world a better place, although that's how they would characterize it. The primary reason that businesses are wide.
Okay, so right there where he said that he thinks it's a left agenda, their ideas. I think also there's some people on the right that think that there's some people on the right that act like they're on the right, but they're actually for the left ideologies. So yeah, and yeah, there's this score they want to push on the companies and on people to conform. And let's keep listening to what he has to say.
Widely adopting ESG metrics is because they are being heavily pressured by large Wall Street firms, banks, and financial institutions. Large investment management companies like BlackRock and Vanguard and State Street Global Advisors, which together control trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars of assets under management, have been pushing for ESG scores for a very long.
Okay, I'm gonna put it on pause right here because I want you guys to know that those who don't know who BlackRock is and Vanguard, they're like one of the main ones. Actually, BlackRock, the main one, that they have so much money, and BlackRock wants to control all of real estate. Like they don't want you to own. They don't want you to own a house. They want to own all the houses. They want you to rent. That reminds me of something from Klaus Schwab. He said, "You will own nothing and be happy." How do you like that, guys? Let's keep listening.
Long time. And when you couple that with the fact that there is a movement within the Democratic Party in the United States, within the government in Canada, and within the European Union to make ESG scores mandatory, many of these companies see the writing on the wall and believe that eventually they're going to have to go along with what these ESG metrics, with this ESG movement, whether they want to or not. The people who are making these ESG metrics are mostly big financial institutions, groups like the World Economic Forum, International Business Council, and people like that. And of course, ESG metrics can be changed at any time. So really, this is a group of incredibly powerful, incredibly wealthy institutions and individuals who are deciding how to transform society sort of all on their own. And there really is no oversight from any sort of government agency, from individuals. They have no power your average everyday American has no power to force these companies to stop doing this. You're going to be impacted by it whether you like it or not, and the rules could change at any time. I think ESG scores are already impacting people's lives, and they just don't realize that it's happening.
Right there, he says that he thinks that it's already impacting people's lives and we don't even know it.
Regular people. The reason your car is getting more expensive, the reason that gasoline is getting more expensive, the reason why Disney is doing the things that it's doing is all tied to ESG scoring systems, directly or indirectly.
So right here, Disney.
All of these.
So I know they've always had their things going on, but now more than ever, it's very clear like who they're for. It's obvious. They're for the LGBT plus agenda, and they want you to, for you and your kids to conform to that. And they know how, Disney is very powerful. You know, we grew up with Disney. So they want your kids to grow up with Disney, but with the different perspective that we didn't have when we were younger. They want to conform them to the LGBT plus ideologies. They want your kids to accept it. So this is what's going on.
These things are filtering down to regular people, and that's by design. That's the whole point. The point of it is to transform all of society, not just to transform what happens inside the walls of some big corporation, but how that impacts everybody on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, so this brings to mind China's society. It says ESG score similar to China's social credit system designed to transform society, think tank director says. So yeah, also the China social credit system and the ESG reminds me of this show that I saw back in 2016. It's called Black Mirror. Put pause on that. So check this out.
And that's one rush swing.
And also, if this is too fast, you can always slow it down on your settings.
Want a cookie with that? On that.
So you see that guy.
Sounds awesome.
She's giving him 5 stars to this guy. And he's giving her stars back, and their credit score goes up.
See you tomorrow, JJ.
See you, Lacey.
You see how everybody has a credit has a credit score or a score. That reminds me of Instagram or Facebook. That's probably something that we're all gonna have. Like an app where instead of, or maybe Facebook's gonna apply it. Maybe they're gonna maybe have a connection with Facebook and say, hey, you know what? Let's connect and let's use your app so we can score people's ESG.
I'm sorry, but I missed the normal you before this obsession.
All right, so there's that one. And then I want you to check out this.
Lacey, got you a smoothie. Got one for everyone, actually. Still a bunch of them for grabs.
So this is Chester. He has a 3.1 score, and he's trying to please people by making them smoothies so his score can go up.
They're from the organic stall at the farmer's market?
Sure. Okay.
So she gave him stars, and he feels relieved that she gave him good stars.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're kinda not talking to Jess.
3.1? What happened?
Him and Gordon split up.
Oh, poor Chess.
No. We're all on Gordon's side.
Sure. Obviously.
So Chess is kissing ass, trying to scrape himself back. Of course, if he drops below 2.5, then it's bye-bye.
So he says if he drops below 2.5, and then he gives him a low score, and then he's gonna turn back, and then he's gonna think it's her, and then he's gonna drop her score. See? So she hates that. So there's that one, and then this last one.
Slow down. Let's give her a ride.
She's like 2.8.
She's like 2.8, and they go
Come on!
deeper.
I didn't even do anything!
She said, I didn't even do anything.
You look like you need
So this lady is a 1.4. Obviously, she's not a conformist.
a ride.
She tries to help her
Actually,
out. And she's like, oh, lady, can you leave me, please? I mean, my score is already low as it is. I don't want to get it lower.
okay.
But it's like she don't got another choice.
Don't look it. Come on. I don't bite. Blue thermos is coffee, red's
So
with.
she helps her. So yeah. So I don't know if you guys are aware of what's going on. This is something that is happening already, like in China and in companies. They're already measuring their scores, and this is why I think, I might be wrong, but this is why I think some people, some celebrities already, like, their scores are already being rated, and that's why you don't see them anymore. Or some artists, celebrities, you don't see them anymore because they're not conforming to this way of scoring people. So I just want you guys to be aware of that, and don't be afraid. I want to read two Bible verses from the Word of God. Romans 12:2. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. No one goes to the Father except through Jesus Christ. John 14:6. And 2 Timothy 1:7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So yeah, trust Christ. He's the only way. Um, even though this thing is here, and it's, I mean, like the guy said from Fox, some people already experiencing it, and they don't even know. So we might all have a score already, and so if you don't obey, this ESG thing, a lot of things can because it says here, social examines how a company manages its relationships, employees, suppliers, customers, and the community, right? Well, thank you guys for watching. Until next time, be patient for now.